Jacob had always been drawn to the woods. Ever since he was a boy, he loved wandering through the dense forests near his hometown, losing himself in the whisper of the wind through the trees and the symphony of birdsong overhead. But this time was different. He was no longer the carefree boy of his childhood, but a man seeking solace in the wilderness to escape the chaos of his life. It was autumn, the trees ablaze with hues of red, orange, and gold, their leaves falling like embers around him. He had ventured deeper into the forest than he ever had before, driven by the need for isolation, for clarity. His mind was clouded with thoughts of his failing marriage, the pressures at work, and the growing sense that he no longer knew who he was. The forest, with its vastness and timeless beauty, was the only place where he felt at peace.
As the sun began to dip behind the horizon, casting long shadows across the forest floor, Jacob realized he had wandered far off the trail. The familiar landmarks were gone, replaced by towering trees that seemed to stretch endlessly in every direction. A creeping sense of unease settled over him. The air was colder now, and the once soothing sounds of the forest had faded, replaced by the occasional rustle of leaves or the distant hoot of an owl.
In his haste to find his way back, Jacob stumbled over a hidden root. His foot caught, and before he could catch himself, he fell. The ground rushed up to meet him, and with a sickening thud, he hit the earth hard. Pain shot through his leg, sharp and immediate. He lay there for a moment, stunned, his breath coming in short gasps. When he tried to move, a jolt of agony shot through his ankle. It was twisted, possibly broken. Panic surged in his chest. He was alone, injured, and far from help. The sun had almost completely set, and the forest was quickly descending into darkness. He fumbled for his phone, but there was no signal this deep in the woods. His mind raced, but there was no way to call for help. He would have to wait until morning, hope that someone would come looking for him, or that he could somehow crawl his way back to the trail. The hours dragged on. The once beautiful forest now felt like a prison, its towering trees casting eerie shadows in the moonlight. The sounds of the night surrounded him, the distant howl of a wolf, the rustle of unseen creatures moving through the underbrush. Every noise sent a shiver down his spine. He tried to stay calm, to tell himself that he would make it out of here, but the pain in his ankle and the growing cold made it hard to focus. As the night wore on, his thoughts drifted back to the life he had been running from, his wife, who he had pushed away with his silence and bitterness, his job, which had consumed him, leaving him empty and exhausted. He had come to the forest to escape. But now, lying helpless on the forest floor, he realized he couldn't run forever. In the darkness, the forest seemed to speak to him, its silence asking the questions he had been avoiding. What was he really searching for out here? Why had he let his life spiral out of control? The answers didn't come easily, but as the night stretched on, he found himself confronting the truths he had been too afraid to face. He had lost himself, but in this moment of vulnerability, he realized that it wasn't too late to find his way back. When dawn finally broke, the forest was bathed in soft, golden light. Jacob's body ached, his ankle throbbed, but his mind was clearer than it had been in months. He would survive this, he knew that now. With great effort, he pulled himself up, using a fallen branch as a crutch. Slowly, painfully, he began to make his way back, step by step. The forest that had seemed so threatening in the night now felt like a silent companion, watching over him as he made his way out. Jacob had fallen in the forest, both physically and metaphorically, but as he limped toward home, he realized that the fall had given him the clarity he had been searching for all along.